In a world where the marks think they know better than the wrestlers and the bookers, the Fantasy Booking Institute exists to pretty much do exactly that. This is a visit from the FBI.
This is Dan the Dad, and you should listen to Raw and Order or you're grounded.
Welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Booking Institute, your weekly source for pro wrestling fantasy booking. I am your host, Detective Mark Smarks, and I am joined, as always, by my partners in crime fighting. Starting off, District Attorney Vincent Kayfabe. What's going on, man? How are you?
What's happening, brother? It's game night. I'm excited.
It's game night.
I mean, we're gonna have some games, and it's probably just gonna be the two of us. And
it is not just.
But it's not.
What? So excited to have you.
Glad
Yes!
to be here, boys. Glad to be here.
We're so happy to have you, man.
Ain't no party like a three-way game night party. Whoop.
There's also no party like a three-way, but we won't get into that either.
Are we back on the Matt Rife conversation again?
We are back.
A pretty man is a pretty man.
Eiffel Tower, man. I mean, what?
I might have to go to one of his 4 Toronto shows. Might as well. Definitely gonna check out one of his stand-ups though. Again, or first, I have seen clips. You guys have got me into him, and I thought he was hilarious. So I'm glad he has a few stand-ups out. So excited!
Hey,
but we're not
remember
here
when we did that with that Canadian television show, and we got him into it?
Better, Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just the trendsetters.
You guys are good. You guys are indeed trendsetters. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
For 3 people.
For stupid shit.
For
3 people. That's it. Better than no people. Better than no people.
Yes. So this is our game night, or it used to be the Fantasy Booking Institute, where we would just do fantasy booking, but then we branched out into games. So I renamed it Game Night. We may still do
not
fantasy.
Really, it still says FBI.
I still say FBI at the beginning because I haven't updated the intro.
That's okay. We prefer that.
Because
it's fine.
Because it might be a fantasy booking sometime.
It might be, and I'm also what's the word I'm looking for? Lazy. Got other shit to do.
Nope, definitely. Either or. I mean, because we could be doing some random fantasy bookings at some points too, and all that. So it's a little bit of everything. So no worries, no worries. You are not to blame, good sir.
We could be talking about how I had 5 guys for dinner tonight, and it was wonderful.
We're back to that, to the Matt Rife conversation. And you have 5 guys.
5 guys. Well, I got to get prepared for Matt Rife, man. It's like Joey Chestnut has to stretch his belly before the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Oh, Jesus.
So we're going to have fun doing fantasy booking / wrestling game talk. Speaking of wrestling game, part of the reason we're late, the main reason was DA Fabe had to poop. The other reason was JLB and I were watching gameplay from AEW Fight Forever and getting really, really hyped. We only have 23 more days to wait.
Unless you pre-order it, you only have 22 because you get it
only 22. I'm debating on pre-ordering. I'm torn, right?
You want the physical copy because you're a bitch. I get it.
I want the physical copy because I'm a bitch. But no, there's another. I'm torn on pre-ordering for a couple reasons. A, I want the physical copy, and I could pre-order and have it shipped to me. But I'm torn on whether or not to get the Elite Edition or the regular edition. I'm going to tell you why. And why pre-ordering, right? The big advantage of pre-ordering is you get it a day early. Great. You also get the exclusive pre-order Matt Hardy set with both regular Matt Hardy and broken Matt Hardy. I'm not super excited about Matt Hardy, so that's not a big.
Safe to say you're gonna delete.
Well, yeah, or just not get it. But if you do the Elite version, you do get the Season 1 Game Pass for it. So all of the DLC for it, which currently is going to include a Hookhausen pack that has Hook
Oh, there we
and
go.
Danhausen.
Already sold for you. It's done.
And I'm like, oh, man. But I mean, that's also going to be DLC that you could just pay for.
Right.
So, now my brain is like, is it worth the extra? It's almost $20
$20
or whatever for the Elite Edition, just to have Danhausen. Because the other ones that come with the Elite Edition were like
Don't arouse you.
for like the bunny. Let me pull them all up because I gotta.
Oh, you sounded all kinds of weird there at that moment.
The FTR pack, which includes Dax, Harwood, and Cash Wheeler, plus mini games, Join Us, and Death Race. The mini games are not something that really excite me.
Oh, I'm sure mini games are gonna be fun as fuck, though. And you're not excited to get FTR?
I'm sort of excited, but not like super.
Mm.
The other one, the Limitless Bunny Bundle, which makes no sense, but it still might be worth it because it's the Bunny and Keith Lee, plus MJF Car Thrash and Sloth Sling mini games. And then
MJF is a DLC?
No, he's got a game, a mini game called MJF Car Thrash, because he had the car crash,
right?
I guess.
Jeez.
And then the Hookhausen Very Handsome, Very Evil pack that has Hook and Danhausen. But I can't help but think that those would all be available to purchase separately.
Yeah, but it's going to end up being more expensive because you're probably going to be looking at maybe $8.99 for the Hookhausen pack. And then if you wanted maybe the mini games or something, you're probably looking at another probably $8.99, $13.99.
Not excited for the mini games. I don't buy a wrestling game for mini games. I don't buy.
I didn't buy.
That's what Modern Warfare fans said, or Call of Duty fans said about the.
That's what I was saying. And I fucking got hooked into zombies.
Yeah,
that's it.
And
then people legit just bought Call of Duty for zombies.
Yeah, and some people legit buy this for the mini games. I'm not one of them.
That's fair.
I'm buying it for the wrestling. So the mini games themselves are like, meh.
It's a bonus.
Meh. Anyways, so we were watching a video of Darby Allin versus Chris Statlander, where they figured out the skateboard and we're skateboarding around.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
The big thing
unlimited weapons on top of that, which is crazy.
The big thing that I said, I pointed this out to my wife when I was watching some videos of it earlier. When you watch these videos of these people playing, the key to it is hearing the people playing their laughter, right? Because that's something I don't hear when I watch like WWE 2K23 play-alongs.
Right.
People are serious in them, and they're playing it. I'm like, does it get this and everything? And my happy memories of wrestling games was coming home after work or school or whatever it was, and sitting around the Nintendo 64 with 2 or 3 of my best friends and picking up NWO versus WCW World Tour or No Mercy, and laughing for 2.5 hours straight.
Just having a great fucking time.
Just had a great fucking time. And that's what I'm excited for with this, is that it just looks like it's an absolute ball to play. And yes, it's not a hardcore simulation. It is arcade based, but it looks like a ton of fun. So I'm excited. And then we'll probably watch many hours more of footage from it before.
So June 29th, it is coming out, folks. You can
Mhm.
pre-order it now. You'll get it a day early. And if you like No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000, WCW Revenge, Old School 64, or heck, maybe even Day of Reckoning for the GameCube and stuff like that, it's kind of based off of those arcade style games. And if you're a gamer, yeah, June 29th is your day to mark to get AEW Fight Forever. It's $59.99, I think Canadian is what it is, and $79.99 for the Elite. Whereas I believe you guys is $49.99 and $69.99.
Um, According to, and this is the Xbox one, so it might change, but $59.99 for the main one and $79.99. But if you pre-order right now on, at least on Xbox, you get $8 off the Elite version. So it's only
Snap.
$71.99 right now.
Oh, there we go.
So that's only, $12 more.
There you go. He's gonna do it.
Maybe.
So yeah, that's it's gonna be a good time. I can't wait. I'm gonna check if the PlayStation Store has that same deal. Days of Play. But along with that, we've talked about a physical wrestling game that is coming out. But what we're also going to be doing today, ladies and gentlemen, is our lovely Tuesday tradition
Look
of
at you
wrestling.
trying to keep me on task.
Yes, look at me go.
Yes. So I always let my co-hosts decide whether they want to go first, or whether they want me to go first.
Okay, so I'll go first. I was
Okay.
thinking of this. It's going to be somewhat interesting. So it's going to be. So I was looking at the 25 most ridiculous wrestling storylines in history. And so what you guys are going to have to do is you're going to have to pick your poison of which horrible storyline will remain in history. So you're picking of which one you want to stay out of the two options I'm going to give you. So one is being erased from history, and the other one you're keeping. I was looking at this list, and it's stuff I had, I guess, blocked out of my memory. So yeah, I don't know how I would do that. I guess we could take. Should we take turns in terms of how we would do this?
Whatever. It's your game.
Yo, boss. You the boss, remember?
Fair enough. So first up is going to be... So it's storylines or gimmicks. So the first up would be a gimmick one. Perry Saturn and Moppy. That roughly went on for about 8 months. Yeah, I think it was something to do with Perry Saturn's like head trauma that he had, and so it caused him to be a little slow. And he befriended his friend Moppy because he was no longer part of the Radicals, kind of thing. So, and then at one point he began to mistake Terry for a mop he saw backstage and called the cleaning appliance Moppy, and I think that's where kind of Saturn really fell off, and they didn't really have anything to do with him. I even think he had won the Hardcore Championship with Moppy at one point. So Perry Saturn as Moppy is your first one. And just to go along with the whole gimmick scenario, we are going to do... Perry Saturn as Moppy or Miss Santina Morella. Which one are we getting rid of? Because we can do without either.
Okay, who's going first?
Let's give it to Fabe.
Okay.
Santina. Yeah, I'm done. Do I need to give a reason?
Well, I mean, I guess not. It's Santina.
Perry Saturn made Moppy actually a pretty entertaining one. Unfortunately, that is not the worst of their mocking of either mental illness or disabilities, whichever you want to prefer, whichever terminology you prefer on those. So, yeah, Santina.
Which one would you say was the? I don't think Eugene was.
So
that
you're
bad.
getting rid of Santina, correct?
Yes, I'm getting rid of Santina, and the reason I'm getting rid of, I mean, at the end of the day, to have Mrs. WrestleMania be Santina Morella, it devalued women's wrestling as women's wrestling was on the incline. It was not. It certainly wasn't the women's revolution, but it was on an uphill climb, and so. Yeah, Santina. I'm done. I don't think I need to speak that long.
I just had to clarify because I believe his original statement was you have to choose which one
would you
keeping.
keep technically. But
So technically, you're keeping Moppy.
Yes, I'm keeping Moppy.
Yes, okay.
Keeping
I just wanted to clarify because I also would keep Moppy because Moppy was actually entertaining as fuck. Fucking Perry Saturn lived that gimmick. He bought spare plane ride tickets, second seats for Moppy on the plane.
I don't remember that. Okay.
He did 100%. In fact, Lance Storm tweeted about it just earlier this week because someone tweeted a picture of someone flying with a Chucky doll and they bought a seat for the Chucky doll.
Oh, Jesus.
And he said, Perry Saturn legit did this with Moppy. So, like the Moppy gimmick, yes, there were problems. It was not the best gimmick in the world, but it was entertaining. He treated Moppy as a real character. This was in the era of Al Snow and Head, so we already had established the concept of a person who has an inanimate object that they think is real, you know. I think the whole thing, he got kicked out of the Rascals, and then he technically lost his job and had to become the janitor for a short period. I'm trying to remember. This was 20 years ago, you know, so, and that's where he got the mop. But it was entertaining, and he did it well. Santina just took the spotlight away from women, and put it on another guy. So I'm keeping Moppy.
Speaking of Santina Morella, he had recently just said in an interview that he had opted an idea to the WWE creative of him doing like a psychotic gimmick where he would go psychotic for a bit and kick everyone's ass, and then almost like a dual personality thing. And I was like, man, that would have been so much better than his stupid Italian gimmick. Because Santina Morella could wrestle. It's just you didn't really see much of it in WWE television. So that would have been pretty intriguing, but obviously there's a lot of stuff.
Santina is now the general manager for Impact Wrestling. On-screen kayfabe general manager. So.
Right, yeah. Okay. So I will give you 2 Hornswoggle moments. So first up, you have the storyline of Mr. McMahon's illegitimate son, Hornswoggle. I don't know if you guys remember this. You probably should. Was believed that the father child outside of his family, the child happened to be a boy and just happened to be a wrestler in WWE. This wasn't too long ago. And it was originally supposed to be Mr. Kennedy, which would have been crazy, but then it got changed to Hornswoggle. And yeah, it was just completely stupid because it just didn't make any fucking sense. Aside from them being both Irish, I guess it was really cheesy. Or Hornswoggle being your last cruiserweight champion, WCW's cruiserweight championship. Technically, it was.
Am I first again?
I could go first. I'm just thinking real quick because these are indeed two shit show options.
The last one was a lot easier.
Yeah.
I think I have my answer.
I think I keep the cruiserweight champion. And it's only because at least that treats Hornswoggle in a way with respect because it has him be an actual wrestler. And yes, his size is still a part of the joke, but it's not. I mean, they've always told the story of the little guy who becomes champion. It's practically
Right.
Rey Mysterio's entire career,
Right.
So that's I think why I keep that one.
Okay, Fabe.
I think I keep. I disagree. I think I go ahead and keep Vince McMahon's love child. Mostly because I think not that Hornswoggle devalues the cruiserweight, but the cruiserweight title had been shit on for so long. Changing the Hornswoggle aspect of that was not going to help. And in terms of the Vince McMahon's love angle, it was ridiculous enough when Hornswoggle was revealed that there were some fun matches that came out of that. There was some fun stuff that came out of that. So I much as I don't care for the Hornswoggle line, or for the love child thing, I think I'm going to keep that one.
Yeah, I mean that also does make a lot of sense too because there was also rumored around that time. I think it came out in Horowitz's book there in regards to or Gorwitz, excuse me, book in regards to that Vince McMahon wanted to make an incest angle with Stephanie and Shane.
Yeah,
and that was around that kind of same time. So
Stephanie
I'm
and
glad.
him.
And
Stephanie
and him. Oh, excuse me. Yes,
Yeah,
Stephanie.
That it was going to be. He was the father of Stephanie's child.
Oh, Jesus. So, thankfully, they went the Hornswoggle route because, oh boy.
Yeah, my hopes are that by not keeping that storyline, I'm not keeping the entirety of that storyline, which includes that potential spinoff of it. That's my hopes.
That's fair. That is fair. We're going to go to a match this time.
By the way, Hornswoggle is officially the youngest person to have held the Cruiserweight Championship, too.
Oh, wow.
Specifically
Nice.
that
Okay.
Cruiserweight Champion, not the reborn one that's now the NXT Cruiserweight Championship.
No, that's fair. So there you go. He has a record to his name then. Matt, we're gonna do a match here. So we have Shane and Vince McMahon versus HBK and God. I don't know if you remember this. This was WrestleMania 22, and they had like a spotlight.
No, I 100% remember it.
And then you also had the match between regular Kane and I guess fake Kane, and they were saying that there was two Kanes at the time. I believe this was at a pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken. But it was really shitty because it was like old school Kane with a new school Kane without the mask. And that that storyline just literally went nowhere. Real Kane ended up beating him, took out the mask, and then decided to take the mask afterwards, and then didn't even put the mask back on, and still kept it as regular Kane. So it was a very pointless storyline, and I don't recall watching the tag match with the McMahons and HBK and God,
It
but I
could be
do
a watch
recall
along.
it could be okay. I
It was
bet.
not good.
I do recall Vince going into a church, though, saying that he was better than God. That I remember, because I remember that being so stupid. So, with all that said, which one do you keep? Kane versus Kane, which just was stupid, and I guess it's wrestling, so your suspension of disbelief can, we don't have we always have it. We don't have one necessarily when it comes to wrestling, or again, limiting our suspension of disbelief. McMahon's versus HBK and God. I really got to rewatch that. We should definitely watch that for a batch along. Fabe, you're up.
I'm going to keep Kane versus Kane because there have been other me versus me matches that have been equally as bad. I'm also the conservative Christian of the group, so I don't really like mocking God. And I'll admit that.
That's fair.
And
That's fair.
I Kane versus Kane didn't really tell much of a storyline, just like Undertaker versus Undertaker didn't, and several others of the sort. However, Kane versus Kane at least had a mask involved. But Undertaker versus Undertaker, they did a really good job finding a dude that looked like Mark Calloway. I don't know. Neither were great, but Kane versus Kane at least told, when you have a sociopath who Kane is supposed to be, I suppose, like, why not him be crazy enough to fight himself? I'd really love if one of those was actually fight themselves. Like, they're just in the ring doing a match against nobody. We've seen this a lot on the indies. I don't know why you can't do it in WWE, especially with a crazy lunatic.
Because that exposes the business, man.
Sure.
I also am keeping Kane versus Kane. Maybe to DA Fabe's surprise.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem I have with the Kane versus Kane is the entirety of that storyline took place in like a month.
Correct. It didn't get to play out. That
May 29th was when Doc Gallows made his debut as Fake Kane. And then the final match was June 25th. So it's not even actually a full month. Right.
Oh, damn.
And then it was over. And that was it. There's no long term to it. But at least it was a match. Like, there was actually a match involved. It was a very quick match. It was,
Yeah, I don't think it was even it wasn't like a full-fledged, I think this was over in like 5 minutes or something. It wasn't even a huge match. And I remember the commentators being like insisting that they're both Kanes, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a fake.
The imposter has a long history in professional wrestling. We had fake Kane, we had fake Diesel, we had fake Undertaker,
fake Razor Ramon,
and at the same time, fake Sting. It's had a long history, and in the world of professional wrestling, it's one of the few places that you can have. Like, you can't have Conor McGregor versus fake Conor McGregor. It doesn't work in real world fights.
Who played the fake Kane?
Fake Kane was Doc Gallows.
Like, from the Bullet Club?
Yes, from the Bullet Club.
Oh.
It was his WWE main roster debut.
Oh my God. Okay.
He was in Deep South
It was before
before Festus.
Festus.
Yep.
Oh wow.
He was in Deep South, and he had a gimmick down there as Dorian Deacon. And he debuted, and then afterwards he went straight back down to Deep South. Until later in the year when he got pulled back up again, I think. But 2007 is when he made his debut as Festus.
I totally didn't realize he was Festus either. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, thank God. Thank God they didn't keep that gimmick on him. It was so bad.
Yeah. And then he became straight edge. And then he went off and eventually joined the Bullet Club and became what we now know.
That's fair. So we got. Did you say yours, Fabe? You did, right?
Yep.
You both keeping Canes. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. We got Vince McMahon's memorial, which was him exploding in the limo, and technically that was around the same time of Chris Benoit's death. So they had they had actually postponed it for that Monday Night Raw. But then on ECW, Vince said he's done memorializing Chris Benoit, because then they obviously heard of everything that happened. And then the next week on Raw, they did a 3-hour episode of memorializing Vince McMahon, which again was really stupid because we know wasn't going to be the last time since we saw Vince off of TV. I don't recall.
We know, but a former president. A former future president at the time did not know and
did not know, right? Right. Well, you know, that's a Trumpian for you. Or Tim White's Suicide Watch, which I thought was also in very poor taste. You remember that when Tim White?
Suicide Watch.
I don't really.
I think you're catching one that we don't remember, bud.
Mm-hmm.
How exciting is this for you?
Oh, so okay. So White opened up a bar in Rhode Island. Had a series of segments where he said that the injury ruined his life because I think he ruined his back. That was part of the storyline. During interviews with Josh Matthews, White would attempt to off himself, only to find out a week later that his latest attempt was unsuccessful. I vaguely remember this. I remember this actually not pretty well. Attempts became more and more ridiculous as the weeks went on. There was even one week that White drank a green liquid that was described as mad cow disease. The storyline, appropriately titled as a web series called Lunchtime Suicide, finally ended in April 2006. After nearly 4 months with White shooting Matthews instead of himself. Matthews was then seldom used for TV after that. So he ended up shooting Josh Matthews instead of killing himself. That I don't remember, but I do remember him at his bar with the shotgun, him drinking the green liquid. It was completely stupid.
Since it's my turn to go first, I am keeping, much to my dismay, the Vince McMahon Memorial, only because of this, right? I don't think suicide is ever something that's really worth making fun of, especially for 4 months straight. Yeah. But B, the Vince McMahon Memorial thing, it was him trying to course correct back to the story that was originally planned. And it failed miserably because A, we saw him the week before on the Chris Benoit Memorial thing. We saw him blow up, and then a week later we saw him on the Chris Benoit Memorial, and then on ECW, And then it went back to, and so by that point, the cat was out of the bag, right? The
Right.
storyline was ruined. But I understand the idea of just trying to be like, okay, now it's back to regular programming, and the storyline that we told at the last of the last one was, I just got blown up, so we're gonna continue that storyline. So yeah.
No, that it was just stupid. They should have just opted off, canceled it, especially, given you just showed up in ECW 2 on top and you were just on the Chris Benoit thing. But it was short-lived anyways. So I don't know if you guys remember Snitsky kicking a baby.
I didn't get an answer.
Yeah, Fabe has to throw answers.
I am sorry.
Maybe I want to hear the depressing story about a referee wanting to kill himself and then killing somebody else.
Maybe you do.
No. I remember sitting there watching that limousine blowing up, going,
"Holy shit!"
That's kind of my thing. Is
this is a little over the top, guys?
It was a little over the top, but it still could have been a fun story.
It was still kind of awesome.
Yeah.
If they hadn't, unfortunately,
had the other events of 2007.
happen. Like I would legitimately today absolutely mark out if Tony Khan, just to poke fun at WWE a bit, did a storyline where at the end of Dynamite he's walking out of the arena and he walks into a limo, and then they cut to the limo exploding. I would laugh. I would laugh really hard.
Right.
And I would tune in the next week just to see how they played it the next time. I mean, it's a testosterone charge.
Well, it was a holy shit moment. It was a holy shit moment at the time too, though. Well, I was still quite young too. There at the. Oh no, I was 2007.
You'd have been a teenager, bud.
I would have been a teenager. I would have been good. But this is when I was still really into wrestling and like, oh my god. So.
You aren't still. Yeah. Why do you have a wrestling podcast or two?
Well, the other one's still kind of on hiatus technically, so one at the moment. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I am. But I mean, I was.
Carry you when you're down. I'm just saying.
Fair. That's valid. Facts.
Okay. Now Snitsky kicking a baby.
Okay. So Snitsky
what am I going to choose
baby
instead of that?
Or, yeah, I was gonna. We'll do the classic. Mae Young births a hand.
I knew that one was coming.
Is it me first? It is me first. I'm keeping Mae Young giving birth to a hand. That's fucking hilarious.
Especially
like, Snitsky kicking a baby. Snitsky legitimately thought, like, there's not a person out there that didn't think Snitsky was a little bit crazy. So Snitsky kicking a baby, you're like, I'm pretty sure they used a doll.
For sure. What do you mean? Come
on. But, that's kind of like when MJF spills a drink on a kid. Oh, yeah, it was an alcoholic beverage and it wasn't pre-planned. With Snitsky, you're kind of like, I think that was a doll. But with the hand, you were just like, this whole storyline's fucking horrible. And all right, I'm in. It's the worst storyline ever. You go get him, Sexual Chocolate. Can't wait for you to be House of Pain later on.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
Hall of Pain. Not House of Pain.
Hall of Pain. Sorry. Hall of Pain. Yep, you're right.
Yeah. Wasn't House of Pain the rap group?
Let me begin.
Back it up, back it in. Let me begin. Also known as Everlast.
Everlast, yeah. Well, okay. House of Pain is a group. Everlast was the lead singer of the group.
I've said group, yes.
So, who then became a blues rock musician on a solo.
Oh, snap.
Anyways, I'm keeping Mae Young, if only because it's the lesser of two Weevils there.
Yeah, birthing a hand is less evil than kicking a baby.
Yeah. I really would rather keep neither of them, but
Right.
the rules state I have to keep one of them, and so therefore I've measured these two evils, and that one is the lesser.
For sure. Absolutely. And solely just to keep it for Pat Patterson saying, "Hey, let's give her a hand." Like, I'm like, yes, Pat, you saved the fucking segment. Golden.
I do. The other reason I keep Mae Young giving birth to a hand is to keep it in my back pocket. Anytime someone tries to claim Orange Cassidy is killing the business and exposing too much, and it's just not believable, so I can pull out Mae Young gave birth to a hand.
Yeah. Straight
So,
up.
were you still bitching about this back then? Anyway,
Yeah. Last one. Yeah, you did yours. Last one. Jim Ross's colon surgery, where it was a legitimate, he had to take some time off, but then they made it into a storyline, and Vince was the doctor, and he pulled a bunch of stuff out of JR's butt, and one was barbecue sauce, and at the end of it, one was his head, because saying that he has his head so far up his ass, or this one I completely forgot about, the Heidenrape.
Oh,
Remember when Heidenreich freaking raped
so mad.
Michael Cole?
No, I'm second on this one. Which means we had an odd number. Go ahead. You can answer this one.
I guess I'm keeping the colon surgery.
I mean, Vince did way more insulting of JR than that throughout his career, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like I said on the last one, lesser of two weevils here.
Weevils? Like, weevils wobble, but they don't fall down.
Have you ever had like a line from a movie that becomes what you associate with that phrase or that line forever, and so anytime you say something close to it, you say the line? That's from a movie called Master and Commander, Far Side of the World, with Paul Bettany and Russell Crowe, a bunch of other people. And there's a scene in it where Russell Crowe points to these two bugs on the table and says to Paul Bettany's character, if you had to choose, which one of those would you choose? Which one of those two weevils would you choose? And Paul Bettany looks at it and says, oh, I would choose the left one because it is larger and sturdier. And Russell Crowe's character goes, by God, I've got you. Don't you know, in the service of Her Majesty's Navy, you must always choose the lesser of two weevils? So now I can't say lesser of two evils without
thinking of that
lesser
scene.
of two weevils.
Well, fair enough.
It's gonna. I also can't say littering without following with littering and smoking the reefer.
You are freaking out,
man.
That's from Dude Where's My Car? No?
No,
that's from Super Troopers. Dude, Where's My Car? I do have. And then
or dude.
No, and then. And
anybody
then
says
you put it in a bag, you give it to us. And then no, and then.
Dude, Where's My Car also has, anytime somebody says a long dude, sweet.
Yeah. Dude, what does mine say?
Dude,
what does mine say? Yeah.
I also can't drive by a barn without saying, oh, look, a barn. And then my wife will say, is it red? And I'll say no. And then say, it's not a barn. Because that's from Dude, Where's My Car as well. No, Super Troopers has so many of those lines. I like, you must say like 30 $30 worth of weed and like $18 worth of shrooms, and so I'm gonna need $48, man. What? That's not cool. Anyways, okay.
Hey,
So,
Farmer,
yeah,
what's that bar you like so much downtown that you're always wanting us to go to?
oh, you mean Shenanigans?
Chief.
I don't think I've ever watched Super Troopers. I think I gotta watch Super Troopers.
You should
Oh
watch
my
Super
God.
Troopers.
Yeah, we're not trendsetters there. There's lots of people who.
There's lots of yeah.
Did you ever see the sequel, Smarks?
I did not see the sequel. I did not hear good things about the sequel, though. So
I'm gonna guess it probably wasn't as well done. Anyway,
Yeah, you still
what was
hear a
our
lot more
challenge
people
there?
quote
So-
the first one. So that was
so we had-
pretty much it. Unless you
was
want me
that
to do
still
another
the
one to
hand
make
and
it
baby
even.
kick? No, what was the one that Smarks?
It was JR's colon and hide and rape.
Yeah, I think we both get rid of hide and rape and keep JR's calling. Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, and to make it
anytime
even.
you're talking about rape or anything like that, I'm out.
So, Super Troopers, the first one, on Rotten Tomatoes has a 36% on the critic score, but a 90% on the audience score.
Wow. Okay.
So
It's definitely a
Critics-
cult classic.
critics no like it so much.
Yeah. That's kind of like the people who say things like Dumb and Dumber was a stupid movie.
Super Troopers 2.
Dumb and Dumber was the best. Dumb and Dumberer 2 was pretty bad though.
Yes.
Super Troopers 2 has a 35% on the critic score, but only a 64% on the audience score.
Yeah. So it still did
So it's
okay
safe to say the
amongst
first
the
one.
really culty ones. Speaking of cults, Ministry of Darkness or
Or Dark Order. Oh, geez, that's a tough one.
Ministry of Darkness is lame. Corporate Ministry sucked.
Corporate Ministry was garbage.
Ministry of Darkness is great. Just had to lead up to Vince being the higher power.
So
Oh man,
Dark
I should have did
Dark Order.
Santina Morella or Hervina. Do you guys remember Hervina when Harvey
Harvey
Whipham?
I still keep Hervina. I keep Harvey because it's Harvey Whippleman, and he got his ass handed to him left and right. I'll let Smarks do his for that one. Hervina or Santina? Hervina, Santina.
probably Harvey, if only because he still is arguably on the Mount Rushmore of ring announcers. And nothing against Santino, but I don't think anyone put Santino on the Mount Rushmore of anything related to wrestling. You know,
Italian WWE performers.
I don't.
that's fair.
I don't know, man. There have been a lot of them.
Italian born in Italy, naturalized Italian citizen. There's got to be less than 4.
Let's see here. I mean, you know, if we make sure to keep them Italian born, right? We'll put that in there. So let me do some looking here.
Well,
Not
Bruno
Italian
Sammartino
born.
was apparently Italian.
He's of Italian descent, but was he born in
okay.
Italy?
No, that's
He
fine.
was born in Italy. So Bruno
There we
Sammartino,
go.
Pizzoforto, Italy.
Okay, well, you're.
So that's one.
You
Okay,
need to find 3 more
one.
to knock Santino off.
right. We still got 3 more.
3 more that have been in WWE.
Yes, that's another one. No, that guy's never been in WWE. We go to this Wikipedia instead, because Wikipedia moves faster than fandom.com. Da, 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 da. I've got to take my chances on, and some of them I'm just skipping because I know they're not I'm not going through each one of them, but I know for a fact Tommaso Ciampa is not born in Italy, so it's not even worth pulling up.
You gonna try and put Johnny the Bull up there? Because I think he probably is if he's Italian born.
Over Santino, you better believe it.
Johnny the Bull's horrible.
I'm sure Little Guido was probably full-fledged Italian.
Here's one, maybe. Nope, New York.
Yeah, they showed me Bubba Ray. I'm like, no, he was born in New York. Okay, they just brought me into a whole other turmoil.
Oh, we got number 2. Captain Lou Albano.
Oh, nice.
Born in Rome. So
only 2 more to knock Santino off the Mount Rushmore of Italian-born WWE wrestlers.
This is horrible. This is horrible that you're that dedicated to do that. It's mean.
Gotta scroll through. Okay.
Do you guys know who Dominic DeNucci is?
That's who I was just looking on.
Yeah, he's born in.
He was born in Italy. Frosinone.
But I don't remember.
And he did wrestle in the WWF from 67 to 82.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think I can put him above just yet.
Either way, let's leave Santino up there. The poor guy.
Nope, not leaving him up there. He can be as poor as he wants, but I'm not leaving him up there.
He's just a poor boy.
Italian-born, poor boy.
Unfortunately, Little Guido was not born in Italy.
Really?
Queens,
born
New
in
York.
New York.
Yeah.
Okay, we still got 2 other people though. Let's.
Man, we still got 2 other people. Yeah, I gotta find 2 more, and I'm having a hard time. So he might actually make it. As long as we keep that Italian-born.
There you go.
because
So
I'm
he's
like,
on the Mount Rushmore of Italian-born wrestlers.
WWE
Congratulations,
wrestlers.
Santino. In WWE.
might
Yeah.
be,
Italian WWE wrestlers.
might be. Just because I haven't
Yes.
found it yet doesn't mean
It's
it
done.
doesn't exist.
Okay, well,
It's
you've got
done.
another
Just for the time being.
week or so of shows, and then next week you can bring it up. You know, maybe, huh?
Yeah, someone can start the next challenge if they want to.
Oh, you want
That's
me
you,
to do
Fib.
the challenge?
I was waiting for someone to tell me whether I need to do the challenge or not.
You're challenging next because I'm busy
Okay.
buying first aid supplies.
Nice.
I mean, why not be honest about things?
No, that's fair.
So, so my challenge, my game for you guys is I'm gonna call it a time swap. I was thinking the other day about wrestlers from the late 90s, early 2000s that didn't get the opportunities that they should have gotten. Were underutilized, but had good gimmicks, good storylines, good something or other, just weren't not used, right? Think a Perry Saturn as an example, right? Someone who had a gimmick that could play but just was not being utilized properly. And so we still have that to this day. I mean, arguably every professional wrestling fan has a list of people that are underutilized today.
Should have been the champ.
Yeah, these are people that I don't understand why they're not using insert name, more. So, what I am suggesting, what I want you guys to do is I want each of you, we'll do a couple rounds of this. But I need you to choose two wrestlers, one modern and one we'll call it classic, but 90s to modern day. And you are swapping them. So you're putting the modern wrestler back in time, and you are telling me why they fit that time period better than and
No.
why they would be used better than there, and why the other wrestler would fit better in modern times. Understand?
Let's do the time warp again.
So we will start with because he's right next to me, DA Fabe.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
I mean, you are the bride. You're going first.
That's fair. And you've been a bride before too. Groom with a bride, but you've been a bride before too.
Groom.
Oh, that was another bad storyline with Matt Morgan, where he just. I don't think it was a stuttering thing, but it was he just said his words really slowly. That was also on the list there too. Anyways, I digress. Who are you swapping, good sir?
I am going to swap. Wrong era, right play. Keith Lee with golly. The one that just keeps popping out at me over and over and over is Doink the Clown. I don't think people were as afraid of clowns in the 90s as they are today. People are terrified of clowns now. Petrified of them. All the time. I have to hear it all the time. I'm like, Why are you guys afraid of clowns? Baggy clothes, man. They might have a gun or something. Why are you afraid of clowns? I don't know. It's creepy. They don't want you to know what they look like for real in real
Yeah,
life.
my reason that their clowns are creepy is they're grown ass men who choose for a career something where they get to hang out with little kids all the time. That's why they're creepy.
Yeah. Male teachers, same boat. I get it.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Dick. Anyway, you would think that in the '90s it would have been scarier because of Gacy and whatnot, but no, people are just mortified of it now.
Well, I still think they were probably mortified.
In
Like
no
no
way,
one
shape, or
had any
form.
phobias.
In no way, shape, or form do I have any fears of a clown. I will punch him in the face. I will hit him with a giant sledgehammer. I will steal his ice cream truck and run him over.
Steal his ice cream truck. When do clowns have ice cream trucks?
Twisted Metal, thank you very much. Boom,
Oh,
video game reference.
Well done.
Soon
Nice.
to be TV show reference
Are they doing it?
starring
Yeah,
Samoa
series,
Joe.
A whole series. Samoa Joe is
really?
gonna be Sweet Tooth.
Yep, he's gonna be Sweet Tooth.
Seriously, right
Yeah.
on.
That's why he missed a bunch of time late last year, because he was off filming.
It'll probably be a
the show.
terrible television show. Horrid.
It's for
Most
Amazon.
adaptations.
I think it's Amazon Prime. Yeah,
Yeah.
Prime Video.
It's got decent
Reviews.
budget behind it.
So anyway, I'm going to switch because I think there's a greater amount of public fear of clowns now than there was in the 90s. And Keith Lee, because dude's a big man, and I am 99% sure either Vince or Eric would have looked at him and went, "Make the Hulk face again? Yeah, I think we need you." And they would have pushed him to the moon. Probably.
I think he
more
would have
likely
just been
Vince.
Mark Henry.
No, there's something different about Keith Lee. The athleticism that he exhibits. Of course, they shit all over Bam Bam back then too.
That's true.
So, I mean, if we can push it up to, but we're swapping their years. So Doink was mostly 92 to 98 ish. And I think that hurts Keith Lee, but that's what I'm going to go with because big powerful man and creepy clown. That's a good switch. I think.
Here's why I agree with that switch. COVID-19 did not exist in the early 2000s, late
Amen.
90s. And Keith Lee got hit hard by COVID-19 and is still dealing with repercussions from it.
Yes.
So yeah.
I also think Keith Lee needed to be in the big man era. I really do. The later the better, but still the big man era.
Okay. JLB?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, to the '90s. I think that would match
Which
well
version
with
of him?
the Fiend.
The Fiend. Okay.
The Fiend. To go in the late '90s, I think that works well with what was going on then, with the Ministry, Mankind, all that. You had all the gimmicks at that point.
Well, that means you get Firefly Funhouse, and people were creeped out by children's shows back then. So yeah.
Yeah, nope, that's fair. And I think, hey, I loved Barney. Barney was awesome. It's my go-to
People were
show.
making fun of it left and right in the 90s, so that works.
Yeah, nope, that's fair.
Depending on when you're switching them with, so let's hear the other person.
The other person is going to be. The other person is going to be Ken Shamrock. MMA is in now. When Ken Shamrock was doing it, it wasn't so much in. I know Ken Shamrock was in TNA for a bit, but he was also older and whatever. If you had the legitimate Ken Shamrock, how he was back then, I think he would have definitely have done a lot better than he did in the 90s. So I think that's a proper switch. So Bray Wyatt 90s, Ken Shamrock in the modern era, I think would work perfectly for both gimmicks. And maybe Wyatt would have had more better creative, I guess, to do what he wants to without him, being over, I guess, just overly exacerbated by everything, you know what I mean? Over anxious about everything and so on. Maybe you would have had a easier time in the 90s too with his gimmick, considering there's a lot of people in that area that were doing something like that as well. So maybe his creative juices would have flowed a lot better. Who knows? That's mental health. That's something completely different. But I think that would Rock 2, MMA's in. We have Rousey. We have Shayna Baszler. We have, I'm going to say Sonya Deville, but I don't think it's Sonya Deville who's the MMA fighter. We have, she was, right? Okay. So we have a lot more MMA people nowadays, and I think Ken Shamrock would at least be able to be appreciated better, considering obviously he was probably one of the most hard-hitting people in that era at the time too. And of course, you have Brock, who's also MMA. So I think it would have been very fitting for Ken Shamrock to be wrestling in today's era. So that's who I'm going to go with. Fiend and Ken Shamrock swap. Yes, no, maybe so.
Okay. Let's do another round. DFA. Do you want me to make JLB go first? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm trying to figure somebody out here.
Okay. While you're figuring it out, I've got a third Italian-born WWE wrestler.
Oh my God.
Dino Bravo.
Oh, he legit?
Dino Bravo was born in Campobasso, Italy.
Michelle McCool.
Oh.
And Maxine Dupree. Michelle McCool could go. She could wrestle. She was good. She was capable. Maxine Dupree is just the looks to two different groups.
When did Michelle compete, though? She was like in 2004, no?
He didn't say I had to go back in the 90s.
I said early 2000s and 2004 technically counts.
He went to 2004 to 7, so...
Oh, okay.
8,
all right. That's
9,
fair.
Somewhere there.
Yeah.
That was a person who could go. She was a Divas champion. She could go. So could Beth Phoenix. I mean, there's 3 or 4 of those in that Divas era that could actually go, as well as Trish and Lita. But I think if they were today and they had the training today and they went today, they would keep up with today's standards. I I think Trish has come the closest though, so far. But I don't think Lita can go at today's standards. And me personally, I don't think Beth can go at today's standards.
No, and I mean, we technically still haven't seen Maxine Dupree wrestle yet, right? So that's
we can
kind
just
of
move her
unfair.
back to a valet era. That's fine.
Although now she's going to get her wrestling gear or something. She's supposed to. I think she's going to wrestle next week or something. So that's going to be kind of cool. I totally don't know what happened with Maxine Male Models, though. They just kind of just said fuck that, and fuck Mansoor and who's the other one? Mansoor and
Massey.
Massey. That's it. I will also pick a woman one. I'm gonna go. Oh, let's see, but who?
We could go with Natty and Natty.
No, I was gonna go with Luna Vachon to the modern era, and there's a lot of good women wrestlers now, though. I don't know who I should downgrade to the women's division in the 90s. But Luna Vachon would go to the modern era, and let's do. Let's do.
All right, sorry.
No, that's fine. I picked Luna in the modern era, and I'm still trying to choose for the modern era to bring down. There's just so much good women wrestlers. You know what?
Yeah.
I
don't think Luna could go into today's era, but that's okay.
I think Luna could go. I just think if you've seen her stuff in ECW, she was fucking fuego. She was a bit off. Why looking at him? Shit. Am I supposed to look at his shirt? What are you pointing at him?
No, I'm pointing at him because I want to hear his opinion. If Luna could go.
Okay.
I don't think most women's wrestlers from the 90s and early 2000s could go in modern women's wrestling. I think it's evolved too much.
Medusa would have been close.
Medusa potentially could have been close, but even her, it's just a different ball game now.
So much more intense.
Yeah. It's so much more intense. You got pint-sized pixies like Candice LeRae who can fucking go in the ring and are not afraid to bleed like stuck pigs.
Right.
And that's something that generation would never have thought of doing. Like that's out of their wheelhouse. So I personally I'm still waiting for Trish Stratus to show me that she can even remotely hang, because so far she hasn't been impressive.
She's done better than the other two did.
Yes, absolutely. But
Lita
one could do better than Lita, because Lita was probably the worst of the
better than
three.
Lita is a very low bar to
I agree.
I'm picking Lacey Evans for my other one, by the way. Lacey Evans is going down to the 90s.
Better than Lita was.
She's got the look. I get that.
Better than Lita was a low bar, even at Lita's prime.
Ouch. That's
harsh.
And
I mean, it
women didn't do moonsaults in the 2000s.
Yeah, it was good for that time, but have her modern era, have her prime now would have been trash.
She's right behind Darby Allin, right there. You can't barely see her, but I have her. I have Lita's figure right there. I was a Lita fan, but in the grand scheme of things, Lita nearly killed herself every time she did a moonsault. Like legitimately.
The moonsaults were kind of sloppy. Yeah.
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 So, Lacey Evans back to classic times works. I agree.
Yeah,
with
that works.
Yeah.
hands down.
She also would fucking clean house back then.
Yes.
Well, she would actually be a better wrestler than she is now, because with her wrestling standards, how it is at the moment, doesn't match with the woman of today. She had good stuff with Bailey when she was a Southern Belle and all that, and it kind of worked. But I think her putting her in the '90s Attitude Era would work fucking perfectly. She would be the dominant female and be a fucking champion.
I have an update on
You
Did you find
Italian
it
born,
for us?
you son of a bitch.
Yeah, Dino Bravo.
Here's the deal. Santino Morello gets on Mount Rushmore temporarily
Until
because
this
Fabian
person-
Eichner, aka
shit.
Giovanni Vinci, has not been around long enough
to knock him off.
to be able to knock him off.
Well,
So, but I suspect he will.
Who is that? Who was that?
Barring
Oh, Imperium.
he's the
Imperium.
bald member of Imperium.
the bald, quiet
Okay,
one,
right.
the one that never
Right.
talks.
KO mentioned it. He's right. KO's got a point.
We didn't say your name.
We didn't say your name. They did it again this week, and it cracked me up. He's like, "You're doing it again. We talked about this last week. We didn't say your name.
You're supposed
It's an
to
unwritten
know
rule."
the name.
I'm really liking the KO character right now.
Oh yeah,
Right. And with or without Sami Zayn,
thank
the KO
you
character.
for a pay-per-view level match on Monday Night Raw. Multiple of them last night.
Yeah. I specifically love the fact that Gunther came up and was like, "You need to be put in your place," and he's like, "Wow, let's do it now,
Yeah.
right now!" Boom, and starts walking to the ring.
I was like, wait, why is this match happening? Oh, Jesus.
It definitely gave something to the random match. You know, like, okay.
And here's the deal: KO could lose that match, because Imperium's heel.
They cheated.
They cheated to win. KO is currently in a tag team. It doesn't hurt him to lose the match. He's currently tag
And
champions.
In turn, still elevates Gunther farther than Gunther was.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a former Universal Champion. I also like the digs that Seth Rollins gave to Finn Balor.
Yes. Bad things happen when you and pointing to his shoulder specifically. Poking his shoulder.
And then he says,
Technically, I'm longer than your buddy
the
Finn's.
shortest reigning, but still longer than his.
Yeah.
Which does mean I think they're building up eventually to a
Oh,
Finn
for
Balor
sure.
versus
Finn versus Seth.
I think it's going to be a triple threat. I think we're going to see Priest versus Balor versus Finn, Priest versus Seth versus Finn.
I think
at SummerSlam.
we might be seeing a I don't want to say breakup of Judgment Day because I don't think
I really
Judgment
don't
Day
want
is
them to break up,
breaking,
yeah.
Power struggle.
but a power struggle because they made a big deal when Finn first joined that there's no leader, they're all equals and whatever. But they've definitely been showing Finn taking a leadership role recently. And so what I think it'll be is not a breakup of Judgment Day, but a, for lack of a better
How
phrase,
do we fall in line?
Bullet Club style kicking someone out. Because he's getting too big for his britches, for lack of a better term. And I think it could lead to a Finn Balor exit from Judgment Day.
That already
And
happened. to Finn.
potentially a return by Edge, because it does give Edge a place to fall.
Potentially,
Where he can be the coach role.
did you see
I don't think they're
there's
going to do anything with Edge and Judgment Day again. I just got to end that.
Well,
Did you see what?
there's
A humbled rejoin.
there's sorry I'm trying to type at the same time.
I think it's Damien's spotlight to get, though. I think you kind of make Damien the leader of that group because he's been certainly getting a lot more camera time and looking a lot more ruthless the last
I
few
think if
weeks.
you
So
reunite
I'm down for
Edge,
that.
Edge becomes Ric Flair in Evolution. That's what I'm suggesting.
Mm.
Yes, he's there. Yes, he's a part of it. No, he's not the main eventer.
Main event. Okay. No, that might work for sure. Not what he was prior, because prior he was just the team
He can be the
leader,
guy who
group
talks
leader.
more often.
That's it.
But
Yeah.
what I was gonna say is, I can't find pictures of it, but there's someone out there who claims to be an insider reporting that WWE is set to debut new women's title belts to complete the refresh. Because currently the SmackDown Women's Champion is a Raw wrestler, and the Raw Women's Champion is a SmackDown wrestler, and instead of doing a belt swap or doing something like that, they're just going to rename them and change the belts. And
Women's WWE champion and women's Universal champion.
effectively, that's what they're going to do. Yes. The SmackDown, the Raw belt is reportedly going to be a white strapped, smaller version of the new World WWE Heavyweight Championship that Seth Rollins has, and that reportedly the SmackDown Women's Championship is going to be a smaller, white strapped version of the new Undisputed belt.
Still the worst name.
I'm hoping that this is not true because it pokes a big hole in my hopes that belt is going to be a Roman belt, and that when Roman eventually loses the belt,
It becomes the Universal.
yes, someone they replace it with a new belt. And that
they already
that
did, technically.
no, I'm saying they replace the new belt because the new belt
Jesus.
sucks.
Yeah, the new belt's not good.
That's why I'm saying is that new belt is yes, see, Big JC agrees. New belt blows.
You said sucks.
Well,
said-
it's got to
said
suck
blows.
and blow.
Oh well, yeah. Otherwise you're not breathing anymore.
Yeah, here's the deal: a vacuum cleaner sucks and blows at the same time.
Ooh.
You got to blow to have suction.
It's onto something.
Anyways, my hopes were, and there were some that suggested that this new belt would eventually be, when Roman loses it, replaced with a new belt, an updated design, and that this would be effectively the Smoking Skull belt for Roman Reigns, right? That's exclusive to him because it's commemorating his 1,000-day reign. And so when someone else wins it, they're not a 1,000-day champion. They don't get the 1,000-day reign belt, right? But if they introduce a women's belt that's just like it, then that pokes a hole in that theory.
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
RC Cola? Is that Royal Crown Cola?
It sure enough is.
Exciting.
Hands
Hashtag still
down
not
taste
sponsored.
test winner for my entire lifetime.
Entire lifetime. Holy cow.
Yeah, seriously.
You're saying it's better than the original?
Since I was born, since the 70s, every blind taste test that includes Royal Crown Cola in it, RC Cola wins. Every blind taste test.
Did you hear that?
But if you ask people in America what the best cola is, they'll 90% of the time respond with Coca-Cola. Because Coca-Cola is part of Americana. It's blue jeans and Coca-Cola that make America what it is.
But RC
Right.
Cola is just technically Coke, no?
It is a cola. It's not technically Coke at all. It's
No, okay. I'm thinking of the cheap brands that we have here that are Coca-Cola knockoffs. Isn't
a
that what
cola.
technically RC Cola?
It's a cola, but Coca-Cola didn't start the colas. In fact, RC Cola existed before Coca-Cola.
Oh, okay.
You
Fair.
could call Coca-Cola a
A
knockoff.
knockoff. That's fair.
Yeah, don't call him out on his RC. He likes RC a lot.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I was just thinking like our knockoff brands here, like Kirkland Coke and stuff like that,
Yeah,
which
one
are
more time.
cheaper, but they're crap.
There's a lot of knockoffs. There's a lot of not
more
just
time.
knockoffs. There's a lot of other colas out there.
Yeah, for sure.
But in blind taste tests that include RC Cola as an option, RC Cola wins almost every time. In blind taste tests that don't include RC Cola but include Pepsi, Pepsi wins the taste test almost every time. But if you ask people what their favorite
There's
cola
such a
is,
distinction in taste, though, between Pepsi and Coke. Like you could,
there's a huge difference in taste.
yeah.
People prefer the taste of Pepsi to Coke if you take the marketing away from it. But when you have the marketing in it, people say Coke is the better. I am a big fan of all sorts of different colas. RC Cola is one of my favorites, but I literally have Kroger brand cola in the house right now because it's good. Jones Soda makes a really good cola. Faygo makes an actually really good cola. I can't get it around here because Faygo's from Detroit.
So,
anyways, one more round, or you want to go?
Yeah, one more round.
One more round. We'll have JLB start first on this one.
Okay.
All right. We will do. John Cena, so successful in the modern era, but I still think he could be just as successful with the Austins and Rocks and so on of that time.
We're moving back from 2002 to 98.
Was he 2002? Was he like 2004 or 5? Okay, that still counts as early. No, that's a fair point.
I think it was 2002 when he came out and said,
"This aggression." Yeah, that might make sense. That's more of a. I'm saying 2004. That's my.
Okay.
Mr. Smarks will let us know. So I'm sure he's
June
Googling it.
27th of 2002.
Oh, dirty. Okay.
Ooh, we're coming up on 21
We're almost
years.
on the anniversary, right?
Oh, look at that.
The 21st anniversary. Actually,
Hey.
we should have known this because last year they celebrated 20 years of John Cena.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Except for we didn't want to, and so we were all like,
that's a fair
why?
point. That's a fair point.
Anyway, John Cena today with The Rock 2010. Hey, look, they're both making movies.
Yo. No, you know what? I'll change it because John Cena doesn't make sense. It's more early, but I'm gonna go with Bobby Lashley. Big man, I think he'd do a lot better. They don't really promote his MMA career a lot, so that doesn't really work for his favor. With my whole other example with Ken Shamrock. So Lashley, to 90s era WWF, and we are picking up. We shall pick up. Yeah, I'm going to go with. Dun, 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 dun. It trips me out every time you put it on mute like that. Good night, Mom. So Bobby Lashley.
Night,
That's right. Um,
Lashley and
yeah, I'm looking at 90s superstars.
Lashley
I would like to bring.
Lashley and Lashley and Lashley
and I don't know. I'm stuck. Lashley and let's go with Dr. Death, Steve Williams. Because he definitely didn't get a fair shot in the modern era.
oh my
and that
God,
guy was a fucking
but I don't
badass.
want him in today's era.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
Past his prime.
Well, I mean, he. Oh yeah, it's true. He was kind of already, but I mean, he was still. He looked like he could be a badass. It's just the Brawl for All really fucked him over.
Yeah, just that he was supposed to legitimately be a badass, and he got knocked out by a guy who'd only been in 3 boxing matches before in his life, and that was to qualify to supposedly get his ass kicked by him.
Right. God damn it, Bradshaw. One job. Talking so much shit. Oh no, it was Bradshaw and JR and Vince Russo who were talking shit, right?
Okay, my wrestlers are Shawn Spears today,
Okay.
Dustin Rhodes 1996 Gold Dust. Shawn Spears is in desperate need of somebody forcing him to be a gimmick and live with the results of that gimmick. Not to choose his own, but to get a gimmick. Dustin Rhodes has proven he is capable of making good, bad, or okay gimmicks work exceptionally well, and he can introduce to AEW some more extravagant gimmick wrestlers. I'm okay with the Darby Allins. I'm okay with the Jungle Boys. But at the end of the day, we don't really have somebody that just makes you go, all right, that's a character.
Well, I mean, you had Sonny Kiss, but that didn't really work.
Correct. We need somebody who could actually make it work. And Shawn Spears, on the other hand, cannot carry a gimmick to save his soul, and I think he needs to be forced into a gimmick.
I agree. Poor guy.
I'm surprised Marks isn't a little more excited about that one.
I'm excited. I'm just kind of in my head because I'm thinking of the one wrestler that I was hoping someone would name from the 90s era that just didn't get a fair shake and really would just kill it in the modern era. And that's Mike Awesome.
Really? You think he'd kill it in the modern era?
I think he would kill it in the modern era. I think he got absolutely killed by that
Vince.
70s guy gimmick
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
the fat chick Thrilla gimmick.
Right. I mean, he was amazing in ECW.
A
though.
lot of guys, though, that moved from ECW to other stuff just fucking got buried. I mean, Bam Bam
Well, Taz was pretty
loving
decent.
ECW. Bam Bam got buried everywhere else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Taz wasn't bad. I mean, it was kind of
Oh, really? All 7 of his matches?
You only had 7
It
matches.
wasn't
No,
just.
it was more
It
than
wasn't
that.
just 7. It was more
It was
than
just-
that. But it was a very limited run that WWE gave him.
Yeah.
They should have had him just mowing through, making person after person after person tap out and dropping them on their heads. A little bit like they should be doing right now with Karrion Kross.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's what they should have been doing with Shayna Baszler the entire time. The problem with Taz is based on his time period. He came out in a time when a Vince McMahon
possibly be this dominant.
was booking it, and Vince McMahon says he's too little. We can't present him as dominant. He's a little guy.
Right.
Little guy is no dangerous. Little guy is funny.
No dangerous. Little guy,
No dangerous.
Little guys make ha-ha.
Ha-ha. Funny ha-ha. Or funny. Sorry, I watched the wedding episode of Friends tonight.
Nice.
Inspired to watch some Friends from the Alexa Bliss pregnancy announcement video.
That was fun.
That was good. Horrible acting, but it was great. I loved it.
So, speaking of sitcoms, there's a third game to play tonight.
There is a third game.
And so we're just going to take, and this game I think probably fits best as a reasonable discussion. I'm going to throw out a sitcom. You guys are going to replace the characters with modern day wrestlers.
Okay.
Similar to other games we played.
Okay.
I'm going to take myself off cam because I am going to switch to my cell phone.
You're stuck anyways.
Oh, perfect. There we go. So, your first one, let's just use it, friends. You two discuss, figure it out.
Friends.
All right. So who's playing Joey? Who has that stupid...
Oh, excuse me.
Who has that stupid gimmick?
Bow,
going on
no,
Facebook
no, no,
before-
no, no. I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour.
I'm trying to think of wrestlers who's played stupid gimmicks, where they're like constantly do stuff wrong. But
he's got to be dumb, but he's also got to be, for lack of a better term, hot, because that's the whole selling point of the Joey character,
right?
Is that he's a ladies' man, but dumb as a brick.
How you doing?
And he also likes food a lot.
I think Otis, although he's not like good looking, but with the whole Max and Male Models thing, like it kind of worked because he's as stupid as Joey, and then he could kind of put on his charm, and it might be able to work. Fuck, I mean, he's gotten what's her face, Mandy Rose, and Maxine Dupree. So I'd say Otis.
I don't think Otis. I think Tyler Breeze. Fashion Police era Tyler Breeze.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would work too. So boom, Tyler Breeze.
Miss Chenandler Bong.
Chandler Bing.
Or according to TV Guide, Chenandler Bong.
Yes, Miss Chenandler Bong.
Chenandler Bong. Hmm.
Funny guy. Is this where you use a
It's
Seth
not
Rollins?
tough. Yeah, I guess you could kind of. Well, out of all other characters left, he would be Chandler. But he's not as scared. Like Seth Rollins, like Chandler's a bit also scared too of himself, whereas Seth Rollins is pretty confident. So I don't think that would work in terms of his characteristic. He has the
Well, yeah,
same
but the
cheesy
tough thing
jokes.
is, professional wrestling doesn't have not confident characters for the most part. You know what I mean? That's kind of their whole gimmick, is that they're confident I can win that championship.
Right.
That being said, as I mentioned that, I did think of a guy who has played the lack of confidence relatively recently, and that's Hangman Page.
Oh, okay. It's not funny though.
Could he
Says
be any
some-
less funny?
Says someone who doesn't watch Being the Elite. He is hilarious on Being the Elite.
Oh, okay.
But
I mean, he did come to the ring with a pirate patch on his eye, so
I mean, he
Mhm.
looked
That's
more
funny in and of
badass than
itself.
hilarious.
He also came to the ring for like 2 years straight with a lower thirds Chiron that made fun of him or made jokes the entire time. That was part of his gimmick during this. And that's a very sarcastic Chandler Bing sort of thing to do.
That's fair. Yep.
I'm gonna give it to him.
Yep.
But, you know, it's worth a discussion.
That's fair. Who? I think we're gonna have a hard time with. I know his real name right now for some reason, David Schwimmer, but
Ross.
Ross. That's it.
I think Ross is the easiest one of all of them.
Oh, you're thinking Orange Cassidy?
No.
No. Okay. No, because Ross definitely thinks too much. He overthinks. Whereas Cassidy doesn't do. Cassidy just doesn't.
Damian Sandow would be a great Ross.
Wow.
And he still wrestles.
Going back. And he still wrestles. Yeah, he's in the indie scenes, right? But he's not like in TNA or. Okay.
Recently, he was in TNA. I don't know if he still is or not. Anyway.
Sorry, I got distracted because I pulled up a Reddit of all of the Hangman Page lower thirds. One week he came out to gonna see how this white wrist tape works out, and then next week he comes out to didn't like the white wrist tape.
Oh, really? Send that link on the group chat because I don't recall those. I think I saw them once or twice, but I didn't, I guess, pay attention to Adam Page.
Then later he his lower thirds was Como se dice yeehaw? Which is, how do you say yeehaw? Let's see. Hotter than a hoochie coochie was one of them. Accompanied by crippling emotional baggage.
That's hilarious.
Okay, he gets the Chandler. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Hangman is not happy with this music was one of his best ones.
2020 slow motion apocalypse cowboy.
Yep. Focused Yeehaw Man was one of them.
That is very Chandler-like. Yeah, I agree.
Anxious Millennial Cowboy was my favorite, though.
Yes. And it stuck.
Yeah.
Enter the tournament via a series of drunken voicemails. I think you read that one, but that's hilarious. Stills. Oh man.
Got jumped
Boom.
by a high schooler.
Oh Jesus.
Okay, moving
Lost
on. Ross.
$400 playing with stocks. That was the week after the GameStop thing. When GameStop thing went down. When he came
Boom.
out with Dark Order, it said the good, the bad, and the hungy.
Nice. Ross.
This doesn't fit perfectly for me, but my brain keeps going to John Moxley for Ross.
You're better off putting CM Punk.
But the we were on a break just seems to be like so perfect for all of the Shield breakups.
Yeah, I feel like you need someone more funnier, more funnier for Ross, because Ross was still pretty hilarious with all his outbursts.
Oh, come on. John Moxley, when he was Dean Ambrose, he took a shot in the ass on TV because of how dirty people were or something.
Jesus.
Could have been a plunger. Could have been a plunger.
Boom. Okay.
Anyways.
Who are the women? So we got Rachel.
Rachel.
That could maybe be Chelsea Green. Not as Karen-esque, but that could
Who
kind of
doesn't wear a bra?
Hey?
He said, who doesn't wear a bra? Because Rachel was always smuggling Tic Tacs. They were more like peanut M&Ms, but you know.
So you liking Chelsea Green for Rachel? I'm trying to think of someone.
I don't know, like Chelsea Green. I always get caught up in Chelsea Green's hot mess character, and that's a Phoebe character, if you ask me.
It so is.
Oh yeah.
So I think I put Chelsea Green as Phoebe. I think Mandy Rose is Rachel.
That could work. Yeah, she can play. I just keep thinking of the NXT Mandy Rose. So I Mandy Rose. So I don't see her as ditzy.
Yeah, Rachel doesn't have to be super ditzy. She's just
well, it's just because she was inexperienced, though. That
privileged,
was kind of it, right?
is what it came down to.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was very privileged. And never had to live in the real world because she was pretty and rich.
Right. Yeah, that would work for Mandy. Yeah, that could work.
Monica has to be someone slightly neurotic.
Obsessive compulsive. It goes on absolute ranting tirades.
Who is Britt Baker? I don't know if she's necessarily obsessive compulsive there.
Possibly. There's not really a character that fits it perfectly.
Nope.
But
I think Becky does the ranting tirades and the
Becky's
erotic.
I have an alternate if Mandy Rose doesn't fit your Rachel. Charlotte Flair.
Privilege.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Self-centered.
I think that actually works better. Yeah.
That might work better. Bailey for Monica.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
solid.
perfect.
That's so solid.
That works.
All right. Seinfeld.
So
you only have to do the main four.
Bailey is technically going out with who then? So we had Chandler as Seth. So Bailey's going out with Seth.
No, you had Chandler as Adam Page.
Chandler is Adam Page. No, that's fair. Bailey goes out with Adam Page. That's hilarious.
He froze on us.
Yeah, I was going to say, who froze? Was it me? No, I'm moving. He's frozen.
Yep, he's frozen. Let it go. Let it go. Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. Didn't watch a ton of Seinfeld because it didn't catch on with me. But know enough about Seinfeld
to give us those four characters.
I think I can get those four characters. Chucky T as Jerry.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, you watch his backstage interviews. He kind of fits that.
Be ready to put him back on.
Yeah. If he joins back. George. Says he's coming back soon. George, I'm thinking Evil Uno.
Oh, okay.
My bad. So
that's more a physical thing. So far?
Gotcha.
Oh.
Short.
I'm just throwing out some options. I don't know if they fit very well for Seinfeld. I didn't watch a ton of Seinfeld, so
dare you?
It's just not my thing. I prefer my sitcoms to have a little bit more
saturated humor,
plot.
That was the whole thing, though.
That's my
it's
point.
It's a show about nothing. It was great,
but that's my point. I didn't want a show about nothing, so a show about nothing does not appeal to me.
That's fair. So you didn't like Curb Your Enthusiasm either? I imagine.
Not really. No. I can do sketch comedy about nothing, so I can do like Quiet as Kids, or I Think You Should Leave. I recently started watching that on Netflix. I could do that because sketch comedy doesn't have to have an overarching plot, but sitcoms, I feel like there should be a plot to the episode, and that's why I just can't get behind. Did we freeze up again? I think he froze up again.
Yeah, I think he's frozen again.
But Elaine. Did I lose both of you?
I'm here.
Okay, there you are. Elaine, I'm going with. Yeah, you're still frozen up, so. Might as well just stay audio only.
Me? Okay.
Yeah. We're just not getting any video from you for whatever reason. Elon. Elaine, I'm trying to think who could fit Elaine. I think Becky could fit Elaine, but Becky's got kind of a thick accent to fit she'd have to work hard on that.
Yeah. It's who I thought of because the neuroticism's still there.
Mm-hmm. And then Kramer. Kramer's got to be a little wacky.
Did you just eat your eyelash?
No, I've got this thing where I put it against my lip. It's a texture thing where I feel the firmness of the eyelash. It's weird. So I go like this.
No, I've just never noticed it before.
I don't usually pick my eyelashes on camera. But it was loose and it was bugging me. Kramer. Crazy guy. Well, I think this is a place you could use Seth.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's the best I can do.
Fair enough. We'll give it another one while he tries to get a restart there. That 70s show. Mike Awesome as Kelso. Oh wait, they tried that. It didn't work. If I can make a suggestion, I think Fez is Dominic.
That's definitely a possibility.
No, and this isn't just because he's Latino. I think that Dominic plays this I'm trying to fit into a particular character role very, very well. Like, I'm trying to be condom.
Just trying to start at the top and be like Donna,
So Eric and Donna.
Eric and Donna. I think we can play into real life tropes with Eric and Donna, and we can do Adam Cole, Bebe, and Britt Baker.
I think that actually works too. Their character, just their behavior models.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kelso.
Sean Spears.
Maybe. I was gonna say, does Sammy Guevara work for Kelso? Kind of dumb. Good looking. Knows he's
Excessively
good looking.
Knows he's good looking.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm putting a pin on that one. Putting a pin. I'm taking it out. And I'm moving that pin over to the Miz. The Miz for Kelso.
I like that. I thought the Miz would work better for Hyde, though.
Hyde needs a certain bit of grit to him, dirt. He's been abandoned,
but likable filth.
Yeah, but let's just say grit because he has abandonment issues. That's the whole thing. His dad was never there, kind of abandoned him. He got taken in by the Foreman family. And so you kind of need someone who's a little bit outcast for that.
This also works for Hangman, but I think Matt Hardy is a really quality person for that too. But Adam Page is also CM Punk. I really like CM Punk for that one. Let's add him back in. Oh, you do it then.
Hey,
I'm doing it and then doing it, and I was
doing it and I was doing it. So
what did you guys end up choosing for Seinfeld?
Oh, we're past that, bud. You're gonna have to go back and watch the episode.
Okay.
it's to be perfectly honest, it's probably not the best. So
It's not a good one.
no. How about Mr. Gargano for Hyde?
I don't know, man.
We're on that 70s show, so.
Oh,
So we have
Gargano for
Adam-
Hyde.
Yeah, I had CM Punk for Hyde. Sarcastic, angry,
Yeah.
pissed off.
So that's the place that
Beloved
That-
still.
that Gargano doesn't have is the angry.
That's it.
But I
He's too
think-
laid back, which Hyde is as well, but he's also angry.
I think I may have gotten the one. I think I've got my choice for Hyde.
He also had Adam Cole and Britt Baker for Eric and Donna. Which oddly works very well.
That works very well. Yep.
And then he had the Miz for Kelso.
I would say more. I would say for Kelso, I would say Riddle.
Boy, he has the stupid down.
Riddle might be a good one there. Austin Theory wouldn't be horrible for Kelso either.
Oh no, not at all.
No, not at all. Yeah, that would work too.
So, new nominee for Hyde, Cameron Grimes.
He certainly would be high enough to the moon.
To the moon.
I would say Cameron Grimes would be more of Hyde's dealer there. He'd be more Cheech. Or is it Sean? That's on the show.
When Cheech Marin plays that, or Tommy Chong.
Yeah, Tommy Chong. That's it.
To the moon.
Jackie.
Jackie's tougher.
Raging bitch female who thinks she's hot and all that in a bag of chips. Are you kidding me? It's Charlotte through and through.
See, the thing is, I don't know. I never got raging bitch out of her. She never came off as a raging bitch to me. She was self-centered, but not raging bitch. I'm thinking I knew a lot of people, a lot of girls, kind of similar to that. So I don't know. I think Zelina Vega.
Also works.
Yep.
And when she plays a raging bitch, she is a raging bitch.
Yeah. But she's not as talkative.
Another option for Hyde. LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LA Knight might be more Kelso though too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you run out of Mio and your water's going to be watered down, whatever flavor of Mio you have.
When you run out of Mio and your water just becomes flat LaCroix.
That just happened to me.
Imagine like a watermelon, but with low battery. Oh, my favorite LaCroix flavor.
God, that's like drinking.
A single strawberry in the back of a van driving away from you.
It's like drinking flat Zima. Fuck. Without the alcohol.
I have an alternate choice for Fez.
We thought condom would be good for Fez. Trying to fit in so he behaves in a certain way.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh Jesus,
Dom,
the whole
Dominic.
foreign thing. Condom. Oh, Gem.
Condom.
Condom. I think I might like Shinsuke better. Honestly,
Shinsuke can play the I don't understand the words very well. Because that was a lot of Fez's thing, was they would say things and he doesn't really understand what they mean. Because it's not his primary language.
and he could probably say in English pretty well, I bid you good day.
Yes.
Did you guys fill in Jackie yet?
I was thinking of
suggested Zelina
Dom.
Vega.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was also thinking of Dom as Kelso and Jackie as Rhea. Rhea maybe can do a comedic role. We see her always so serious. But they kind of do have the chemistry.
I just
But I
don't
don't
see
think Dom is as stupid.
Dom as Kelso. Because here's the deal. A part of Kelso is that he's good looking and he knows it. And he skates by on his good looks because he's dumb.
Right. Yeah, that's why LA Knight probably works for that too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think of one more sitcom that's up there that would be enjoyable. That
2.5
isn't
Men?
Family. Oh, that's
Oh, that isn't a family.
fantastic. No, that's fantastic. I'm okay with that. You only got to fill 3 spots.
Yeah.
The Not So Bright Child, Charlie 1/Charlie 2. So
4 people you would pick.
You guys are going to hate me for saying this, but I've never seen a single episode of 2.5 Men.
That's fine.
Really?
No,
That's
I tried turning it on at one point and just not my thing.
Yeah, it was
that's
a
fair.
great show.
I don't spend my time on.
Oh no, and Charlie wasn't even I don't even consider Charlie Sheen the
We're gonna go.
great
We're
part of
gonna
the
go
show.
with
John Cryer
4
was awesome.
people.
No, it's not about Charles. I just if something doesn't grab my attention, I don't waste my time on it. And so
We're gonna go with
fair.
our sitcom, the one we enjoy. All 3 of us enjoy. Letterkenny. Derry, Squirrely Dan, Wayne, and Katie. Whew.
So I submit for Wayne someone that might be controversial for submitting for Wayne because we do not know what he sounds like. But Dexter Loomis.
He's got the look, that's for sure.
He's got
Not a whole lot of people are starting fights with him. I could go with that. Who do you? Hold up, Derry.
Well, keep in mind though, but yeah, I guess Wayne's character Loomis could work. Let me.
But you do know what he sounds like from Sam Shaw.
But the thing is, then, because the same character that plays Wayne is also Shorzy, huh? So, but if we're just going based off the character,
the same actor, however,
different characters. Obviously,
it's different characters.
Totally
so you
different
could
character.
technically have a different actor playing it. The only reason
That's
they
fair.
don't is because it's the guy who created the show. And Shorzy was just supposed to be an extra character in like one episode, so he just did the voice for him, and then they liked it so much they kept doing it. Squirrely Dan 100% is Otis.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
Absolutely.
We're not debating this. That one's done.
So, Mandy and I, the other days, we was just kissing. We got to kissing, and
She got
some
paying a little attention around my butthole.
buttholes. My butthole. You know something, fellas? I liked it. Otis could definitely pull that off. Yep, that's the guy.
Derry.
oh fuck. Yeah, that's definitely Otis.
I don't want to sound cliche, but is Chad Gable Derry? It's really close.
That's a possibility.
Nope, Sami Zayn's Derry.
Sami Zayn's a better choice. But I don't know if it's as cut and dry.
No, it's not as Otis as Otis.
As Otis was. But give me 1 second here. I don't know why I did that.
Is that what she appreciates about me?
Ooh, open challenge. Chris Statlander versus Anna JAS.
Alternate choice for Derry. Brandon Cutler.
He is a goofball. Well, that would work.
I also think Moxley plays a really good Wayne.
Moxley wouldn't be bad for Wayne. Now we just got to get Katie.
And if you want to throw in Gail, you can. That's just whatever the horniest woman you can think of is. That's Mickey James. Her character has made out with every person she could possibly make out with.
Mm.
And I wish it was Gigi Dolan. But it's not.
Katie's a tough one because she's got to be good looking. She's got to be
Grounded. Very grounded.
grounded. She's also got to be kind of one of the boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shayna Baszler? Because she's kind of a dude, right? And I guess depending on your taste in women there, but Shayna Baszler's not ugly. You know, she's cute. She's just too mad. She's just too boyish. She's an MMA fighter. So what do you want? Or was?
Excuse me. I was building up for a while. And I knew if I opened my mouth, it was. What about Soraya? For Kate.
Yeah, I get that.
Wait, Katie's the
sister, Wayne's sister.
Fuck it, your sister's hot.
I regret nothing. I can just see Otis waddling through that field.
Oh, Jesus.
We was gonna save you some of your sister's tarts. But her tarts are just so delicious.
You owe me half a tart. Katie's got the best tarts. I just love looking at Katie's tarts.
Watch what you're saying there, fellas.
Excuse me. Anyways, well, we've gone for over 2 hours on this.
Yep. And I think we're ready to rock and roll.
And I think we're about ready to start going down the tangents of ADHD, and that is something we need to avoid. So it's time for us to close the book on the wrestling game night. Thanks to anyone who joined us on here, joined us in the chat, or just lurked and watched. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to support us in other ways. You can send us bits. You can send us tips through the link in our About page. You can support us by subscribing. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can do it for free. You can also buy merch. There's our Stream Elements merch store and our Spread Shop merch store. Links are in the doobly-doos for all of our merch. So you can do it that way. You can also support us by sharing it with your friends and following us on the social media. You can follow me at Raw and Order. Got to get my finger on the right spot. Yeah, that's what she said. Raw and Order WBU. Right there. That's on pretty much all of them. Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. Pretty much anywhere you go. Otherwise, just search for at Raw and Order WBU and you'll find it. You can follow DA Fabe at
DA Vincent K Fabe only on Twitter. And I've been making all sorts of faces because I know y'all can't see me. It's not changing. Mine's frozen.
Yep.
So,
but I'm pointing at it. I'm pointing at it. We can't see him. And you can follow JLB at
twitch.tv/JLBTLC25, where I will be streaming the AEW Fight Forever game for sure when that comes out. And going to play a little WWE2K23 before I completely abandon that to play the AEW game. So, and of course, JLB420 on Twitter, where I talk about everything and anything of whatever the heck is going on, which will most likely be a lot of talk about AEW as well at the moment. And that's where you can follow me, good sir.
But on that note, we're going to go ahead and close the book. on the Wrestling Booking Unit, Fantasy Booking Institute, Wrestling Game Night, whatever you want to call it. Make sure to join us again on Sunday when we're back with our regular show. But for now, thanks for joining us. We will see you soon.
Deuces.
Deuces.